A quick rundown on the levels and stuff that I set out in this morning's newsletters. Had a bit of a meltdown day. Here I've got cable up, and I think you'll remember I was saying generally looking short, and I said take a look at the daily for a breakdown. Now the daily is that line there, so we've been bouncing off it the last few days. As I said, I'm beginning to get a little bit negative on it. We've got a line coming down there, so there's a little bit of triangulation. But this breakdown line comes in at around 161.55 area. Yeah, as I said, so long above 161.55 as in the newsletter. Thought it may come down to about 26, which is that low, so it'd have a bit of support there, which it did do. Also, one of the reasons I quite like the short idea and the line break was it is propelled there. We've got a bit of space down, it's well above neutral, so there's certainly nothing to particularly stop it once it did break. And looking at the hourly, I've got that hourly line there, which is one lot of support and another lot of support daily there. There's the break. It did break it, bounced up just before the numbers. We did have numbers which the Bank of England and US jobless, which does freak people out a bit. So a bit of covering before then, but we had decent resistance there. Again, said it in the newsletter, 162.20 area. So yeah, just around there. Also, what else worked? Gold. In the newsletter I was saying, what was I saying? Fancying a breakdown, but it was still above the line. So I was doing the newsletter when it was about there, but I had that overhead line drawn, and I had support here, and I said basically looking for a break of 114.27, and again with the target to be a little bit of support around there, 124. But why was I looking for a bit more of a breakdown? As I mentioned about 2 days ago, really possibly heading for 1400. And again, looking at the daily study, that's what's caused my thought process. Been in non-stop there, it was nibbling at the line yesterday. Really didn't manage to hold above the line today. Opened right on the line and down. Kapow, so 1400, not such a daft level now, but that, there's a nice formation coming back well over neutral. The last time we saw something that over neutral back in November last year. So that was that. That's gold explained away. Crude, we had the same sort of situation with crude. I got various lines drawn in here. Now I was negative on crude generally. Looking at the daily, that is very, very overboard, and it, as you know, I've been turning cautiously negative on it for a couple of days, and that is why it's very, very high, well above neutral. We had high there, a little bit off, and made another high, sucker a few people in, but showing a little bit of a line there. I don't know why that line's there. That's from actually before we broke out. Let's take that one away. So that's the daily reason. So that's why I was saying that it's very, very wide, difficult to actually do the trades because you're needing stops so wide. But yeah, as I said, there was a little bit of 104.30 support. I need to get the hourly for that. That was based on that sort of area, a bit of support there. But again, too short, it would be having to have a 70 or 80 point stop, because I did have space up to there. But again, once it went down, and I did comment, breaking there. Once it broke that line, we got down there, and logically it wouldn't necessarily go straight down because there will be buyers around here, so a little bit of a bounce, short covering, congestive resistance around here, so yeah, a little bit of space up, but that was the reason for that. Anything else worthy of looking at? Is that cable? Have I done on cable? Euro also a little bit short on, yeah. Short on the euro. That's the daily again. Got that, which is encouraging for shorting. There's the last time it was like that. So encouraging short positions, not long positions. Going to the hourly, not much of that. What I did say is I think there was 138.30 was interim support, and it did actually get down to it's down around the 13800 now. So yeah, that's come off quite a lot. We had sorry, I had a phone call there. Yeah, so once it broke the interim support that I had marked down at 138.50, I did say 137.90. It got down to what's the low? 137.91, and it's bounced back up. So yeah, so generally all worked quite well. I'll just touch on FTSE as well. I haven't looked at that recently. So yeah, back to the FTSE. I had short under as close to 59.10 as possible. I was doing the report in the morning. Around here, it did drop down and bounce, as I was again in the news. I was saying I thought it might be able to get up there. It did get up there with a high of 59.05, and we're looking for 60, which it reached fairly quickly. 60, and then I said 50, which again it's got down to now. We're now in quite an interesting zone below, around 58.50. I do actually expect it to have a little bounce tomorrow, but again, we could be seeing a little bit more of a correction now on a longer term basis. So we'll just have to kind of monitor the bounces. Still short here, but it's after hours. It's 4:30 now, so we'll have to have a little look at that in the morning, see what happens in the closed market. Okay, thank you. I'll do an update again tomorrow.